Hello. I forgot to count it down, but we're here. I started early, but we're here. So almost overslept again. So I don't know. I feel like 1 o'clock my time was a good time to do it. I've been not getting a lot of sleep here lately, so I just do the show whenever I can, Because I break my record, I break you. Like I break your friend. Yes, I guess that's what I'll say. Kumite. Or whatever. Kuma Matata. Whatever. Akuma Matata. We'll just say that, right? Well, anyway, hope everybody's doing great. I'm seeing everybody was waiting on me. Sorry about that. I had a little trouble. We got a lot of quotes here. What we've got going on here? Like, put up your dukes. Yeah. There's a lot of crappy lines in this movie. You know what? It's cool. It's a cool movie still. It's a fun little movie, but everybody's like, man, why'd you put this on bad cinema? Well, I mean, if anybody wants to come on and talk about this with me, they can. Just let me know. But when you look back at it, yeah, the acting and the storyline makes no sense. And then you come to find out later that Frank Dux was just a big faker. So yeah, this is we're going to be reviewing the 1985 Cannon film released by Cannon. But Cannon Pictures, the late great Cannon Pictures, they gave us such films as Missing in Action 2, Missing in Action 3, Death Wish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 15,000. There's like 15,000 of those. So what other great movie? American Ninja, Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja. Of course, you can't forget that one. Ninja 3, The Domination. God, how many? There's so many ninja movies. They did Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. So anyway, Cannon, and they also were the ones who were responsible for that horrible Superman 4, The Quest of Peace. And a lot of people said that Cannon Pictures was just basically a money laundering operation because they were actually selling cocaine. I kind of tend to believe that because I think they had to be pretty much coked up to make these movies. But anyway, might as well go ahead and show us the trailer. I might as well show you guys the trailer. I'm going to try to do this. If I get kicked out of the stream, just be patient. Internet's, I don't know. Sometimes it's good up here, and sometimes it's bad. But anyway, we're going to watch the trailer for Bloodsport. And if we get shut down because of it, so be it. All right. Wait, I'm up here. There we go. There it is. I try to download it so it'll, so it'll actually. Talking about this happens over years. It's called the Kumite. And allegedly there is a Kumite, no holds barred karate, full contact martial arts tournament, right? A lot of people say this is where they got the idea to have UFC, and probably before they took the idea from, I don't know if this was taken, I don't know what time Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter, the video game, came out, but I have to imagine that one of the two is copying it because some of the characters you have international group of people shows up for a tournament to fight each other to the death, maybe. And doesn't it reek of a little bit of Street Fighter 2 to you guys? So I think Street Fighter 2 may have some explaining to do.
The kumite was first used by the Korukai, the Black Dragon Society, to measure superior warrior, the champ.
There he is, the muscles from Brussels. Get ready to do a fake. So this is where they're in the tournament a little bit. I was trying to. Well, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'll tell you, I mean, I don't know if I mean, you got some great guys in this. We got Bolo Young, who was actually in Enter the Dragon. We won't have to watch the rest of it there, but you get the idea. I don't know if you saw it or not. It seems like my internet's a bit jumpy. So, hey, Robert, how you doing? Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? It is good cinema when you're 13 years old. It's still a fun movie, like I said. So, you know, I don't go by like whatever Rotten Tomatoes. It's not a success when it came out. The acting's shit. The production's shit. But it's got some great choreographed fighting scenes in it, but the acting is just shit. But anyway, but it's a good bad movie. What I mean by that is, you know, so bad it's good. So I can get over the bad acting, the holes in the accuracy, but we can also talk about the fact that based on a true story, and this one is very iffy because Frank Dux was turned out to be pretty much a grifter who sold people like, oh yeah, I'll teach you how the five-finger death punch, you know, from a book you can get out of the back of a comic book. But I'm glad to see everybody in the chat and everybody here. We're going to go over the Wikipedia page. I guess we'll go over the one about Bloodsport first. And I have a couple of clips. Hey Robert, that I'll show. I couldn't find a lot of clips for some reason. I don't know. It's like there wasn't a lot of memorable quotes in this movie. So except for like the 3 or 4 that I saw. Nerdy. Sorry, I just woke up, guys. So anyway, so we're going to talk about Bloodsport, the Wikipedia page here. So let me just shut up and quit flapping my gums, and we'll get the Wikipedia page up here. There we go. Bloodsport is a 1988 martial arts film directed by Newt Arnold, an American-Hong Kong co-production. The film stars Jean Claude Van Damme, with a supporting cast of Leith Ayres, Forrest Whitaker, Donald Gibb, Roy Chow, and Bolo Young. The film centers on Frank Dux, a United States Army captain and ninjutsu practitioner who competes in an underground full-contact martial arts tournament called the Kumite in Hong Kong. Based on Dux's quote-unquote real-life claims, the film was marketed as a true story. It was one of the Van Damme's first lead roles and showcased his ability in launching his career as a mainstream action star. Yeah, he was in a movie called No Retreat, No Surrender before. He played a Russian. I think it was like one of his first movies. His screenplay is based on many of Duke's claims, first covered in November 1980 issue of Black Belt magazine. The real Dukes served as an action choreographer and technical advisor. After its release, many of Duke's claims were disputed, including by co-screenwriter Sheldon Lettich, who claimed Dukes fabricated his fight record and even the existence of a kumite. Although it does sound cool, right? This movie was produced and released under Canon Films. Only the finest I bring you guys here today. We got February 26th. It came out. Okay, so it was released February 26th. 1988, despite negative critical reviews, it was considered a box office success. But that doesn't really matter on my channel. It's not. I'm not calling it bad, but you know, for lack of a better word, this is the title of the show, and B movies go under this category for me. So they probably didn't have a big budget either. I said, what's it say here? They grossed $50 million on a budget of 1.5 to $2.3 million. I got to keep checking the chat because I don't pick apart the movies on here. I like all movies, whether they have a lot of production or if they have bad production. Everything's good. Just because something's bad, I say bad like that, see, doesn't mean it's not good. That's the whole point of the show. I kind of just was trying for a little play on words. But yeah, this movie's awesome. I like it. And we're going to keep talking about it here. We got the success of the film helped the resurgence of the martial art film genre in America. That is true. I remember watching this when it came out. I was like 11 or 12 or something. It was also been identified as a cult film and spawned a film series which includes 4 sequels. So the plot, of course, is U.S. Army Captain Frank Dux has trained in the ways of Jiu-Jitsu since he was a boy under Sensei Shinzo Tanaka. Is invited to the Kumite, an illegal martial arts tournament in Hong Kong. Dux goes absent without leave, which means AWOL, and leaves for Hong Kong. 2 criminal investigation command agents, Helmer and Rollins, are assigned to track him down. And he actually befriends this beautiful, journalist who's trying to find out about the Kumite. So, of course, Van Damme is in the movie. Donald Richard Gibb. Oh, he's the fraternity brother of, I can't remember his name. But anyway, Leah Ayres, she plays the Janice Kent, the reporter. And we got, of course, Forrest Whitaker plays one of the CID agents. And, of course, we got the great, where's he at? The other thing. There he is. Chung Lee, Bolo Yup. I love this movie. Yeah. Like bad cinema doesn't mean it's not good. So let's see if we can get into some production things. This is according to co-writer Sheldon Lettich. I had known Frank Dux for a number of months before I came up with the idea for Bloodsport. Frank told me a lot of tall tales, most of which turned out to be bullshit. But his stories about participating in this so-called Kumite event sounded like a great idea for a movie. There was one guy who he introduced me to named Richard Bender, who claimed to have actually been at the Kumite event and who swore everything Frank told me was true. A few years later, this guy had a falling out with Frank and confessed to me that everything he told me about the Kumite was a lie. Frank had coached him in what to say. On casting the lead role, producer Mark DeSale said, I wanted a new martial arts star who was a ladies' man. So Jean Claude Van Damme appeals to both men and women. He's an American hero who fights for justice the American way and kicks the stuffing out of bad guys. Yeah, and of course, he doesn't really have a strong grasp of the English language. He probably had a stronger grasp of the English language in this particular film, than he did in No Retreat, No Surrender, because he was supposed to be some Russia that spoke Russian, and we never heard him talk kind of guy. Okay, then we got the filming. Bloodsport was filmed entirely on location in Hong Kong, and they began filming October 17th, 1986. It was the first American feature made in Hong Kong since 1969. Promotional materials indicated that the Kumite, which Frank Dux won in 1975, was held in the Bahamas, but producers opted to set the story in Hong Kong because the city was exciting and not overexposed in American films. So Bloodsport is one of the new films featuring scenes filmed inside Kowloon Walled City before its demolition in 1983. And if you don't know anything about the Kowloon Walled City, it's really interesting. There's some videos on YouTube about it. It's very interesting. Okay. I thought it was, I don't know what he was. He's Air Force or something. I don't know. I thought he was Army. I mean, I'll be honest. I just thought he was Army. He claimed to be a ninja that was trained by people that knew ninjutsu, which is a pretty. Well, it's a walled city, like walled, like walls around it, walled city. And there was it was the densest populated area in the world, or something like that. There were so many people like on top of each other. You could like live there and not even see light. You could not even see the sunlight. You could go so many levels down, and it's just like this old wild city. It's wild. I tell you, look it up. The wild city of what is it called? I mean, I'll look it back up here. Yeah, they're only one of the places that only filmed in the wild city. But anyway, that's where they did that at. Right there, it says promotional materials. It says Bloodsport is one of the few films featuring scenes filmed inside of Kowloon Walled City. There it is, right there. You see that? I don't know if you can see that, but it's like, look at that. It just looks like a big block of concrete, but those are all levels with people in it. They tore it down. Finally, the Chinese government, I think, tore it down, but I don't know if you can see that really well there. Anyway, that's the Wild City. All right. Bloodsport was released on VHS. That's probably where it made its money back even more. I say it made even more money after it got to VHS, because back in my day, when you went to the video store, that was it. Every weekend, you go to the video store, rent some games, rent some VHS, maybe have a pizza. I got something coming towards me here. What's this?
Wait a minute now.
I got Mom's having trouble with something. Yeah. Oh, she's got a fan over here.
A fan. And
What's
then
that?
it's got a flashlight. You want it? Fan and flashlight.
We got a flashlight. All right.
And a fan. Turn it off.
And a fan on it. Okay. Well, I guess. Well, I don't know how to turn it
I
off.
don't
But
like it. I'll keep it because sometimes I need
how you turn it? There you go. I got it.
No, you don't. Let me have it. I got it.
It won't turn off. All right. Anyway, it's distracting. Okay.
It's mine.
Multiple Blu-ray versions have been released throughout the years. And like Mark was saying, in January 1989, the Los Angeles Times reported a U.S. box office gross of $11.7 million against a budget of $2.3 million. In August of 1989, the Chicago Times reported that the film had pulled in $50 million worldwide, including $15 million in the U.S. and Canada, making it Candidate Group's most profitable film of 1988. Critical response. Leonard Clabby of the Los Angeles Times wrote, "Hacking through the jungle of cliches and reservoir of bad acting in Bloodsport are some pretty exciting matches," or something. I don't know. They just cut that one off. Van Damme was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst New Star, but lost to Ronald McDonald and Mac and Me. Ronald McDonald and Mac. Okay. Well, I guess that was probably a tough one to beat because Mac and Me is just awful. Okay, it's got a 50% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 30 reviews and an average rating of 5.1 out of 10. The site's consensus reads, "This is where it all begins for the muscles from Brussels. But beyond Van Damme's athleticism, Bloodsport is a cliched, virtually plotless exercise in action movie recycling." Wow. Okay, that's pretty bad. But I like the movie, though. I don't know. I think that was pretty harsh myself. In the book Real Arab, Arab media scholar Jack G. Shaheen criticized Bloodsport for reinforcing anti-air. Oh, okay. I don't see why that'd be. I don't think they did that. All right, sequels and possible remake. Yeah, they made like Bloodsport 2, the next Kumite, Bloodsport 3, it came out in 97, and the very memorable Bloodsport 4, the Dark Kumite. According to American Film Institute, the success of Bloodsport helped the resurgence of the martial arts genre in America. Jean Claude Van Damme said the film helped give the martial arts genre a boost, but also foretold certain things. Okay. Let's see if we can find out about this Frank Dux guy. I was going to tell you about this guy. This guy's So he was born April 6, 1956 in Canada. I think it was Canada. It says he is a Canadian American. Okay, well, he's got probably dad's American or anyway, or vice versa. Martial artist and fight choreographer. According to Dux, he's a ninjutsu expert named, he learned from a ninjutsu expert named Senzo Tanaka, trained him as a ninja when he was just a teenage boy. He established his own school of ninjutsu called Dux Ryo Ninjutsu and has said he won a secret martial arts tournament called the Kumite in 1975. The alleged victory of the Kumite served as the inspiration for the 1988 film Bloodsport starring Jean Claude Van Damme. Duke's victory at the Kumite has been disputed, and as has the existence of both the Kumite as he described and his sensei, Senzo Tanaka. Duke served in the United States Marine Corps Reserve from 1975 to 1981. Okay, so he was a Marine and claims he was sent on a covert mission to Southeast Asia and awarded the Medal of Honor. He also asserts he was recruited by the CIA Director William J. Casey to work as a covert agent. His military records, however, show he was never sent overseas and has not received any awards. Duke states that the military sabotages records to discredit him. He has been accused of falsifying his military service by authors Bernard Burkett, Ralph Keyes, Nigel West, and his claim to have worked for the CIA has been dismissed by the Director of Central Intelligence, Robert Gates, also by General Norman Schwarzkopf, and by Major General John K. Singelaub. And also he was also refuted by Soldier of Fortune magazine at 2, Soldier of Fortune at 2. So he's disputed all these. Okay, so he's been accused of all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, let's not get into that. All right. I don't even know. I mean, you got a 70. Yeah, imagine losing any award to Ronald McDonald. What the hell, man? I don't know. I like this movie. Yeah, and you got Mark saying, like he said, he's got a 75% audience score. It's still not. I mean, it's still not. Was never going to win an Oscar. It's a. Yeah, I watched Bloodsport so many times. Like the part where he's like blinded, he's going. Yeah, catches him. Yeah, I love that part. You tell I'm kind of jacked up on caffeine today, and then tired at the same time, so I'm getting kind of weird feeling. But we're all good. All right. So anyway, we got a couple of clips here. Of course, he's traveling over to Hong Kong. They just did the Hong Kong, like it says. You know, they wanted to make it more exotic feeling because you didn't really see a lot of films for the U.S. that were shot in Hong Kong. So that's probably a smart move. You know, you get that. So also, I think I mean, you got to tell me, guys. I want to know what you guys think in the comments. But I'm pretty sure that Street Fighter or something, either Street Fighter, I don't know. If somebody could check on when Street Fighter, the game, came out. So it was like in the 90s. So they had to be copying this movie, right? I mean, you got the sumo guy. He looks like E Honda. I mean, that's what it looks like to me anyway. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's pretty accurate. All right, we got a couple of clips here. I'll get through them. We got a couple of pictures. Oh yeah, we got to show this one. We got to show this one. Whenever I think of this movie, I see Van Damme about to like split himself in half of those split. I don't know. He was in great shape to be able to do that. Damn, that hurts just to look at. That hurts me just to look at it. Oh, so they copied Street Fighter, I guess. I'm guessing they copied Street Fighter. They just like stole the plot from Street Fighter. All right, that makes sense. And here's the legendary, the man, the myth, the legend, Bolo Young. This guy is just like a legit badass dude that I would not want to get on the bad side of personally. Even at his age now, I think he just retired. I think he's actually in his 70s. He was in Enter the Dragon. He trained with Bruce Lee, for God's sakes. The guy was a bad dude. Although I read, Van Damme was a black belt. Some people act like he was all fake. I'm not saying he was good at like actual fighting, but he did have a couple of belts in some kind of martial arts. And he did he took a little training with Chuck Norris, although he was never on Chuck's level. But I think Chuck helped him out. And here they are fighting. That's where he's blind, where he's like blocking his. Yeah, that's where he's like blind. Remember, he was blinded and he couldn't see, and then all of a sudden he just starts meditating, and then Bolo tries to hit him with that hammer fist to the face, and he grabs his hand. I love that part. It's a good movie. Yeah, this movie's getting all the way. I like anything like this. So let's go here. We'll play a couple of clips. I don't have many, so I will apologize. But the one thing, the lady, she's like, "Are you guys in the kumite? Do you know where the kumite is at?" She is really thirsty for that kumite.
I just hope you don't end up like Jackson or worse. But I'm not gonna.
Or Jack or worse. Oh, that's what they were talking about when his friend about got beat half to death by Bolo. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, the original Street Fighter is kind of the same premise, but they just take it farther. I think maybe they're just both inspired by each other. All right. Well, anyway, this is what the first of it. Like when Frank Dux was, according to the movie, we don't know if this is true, but he went into that guy's house, Tanaka, with some guys, and they were going to steal something. Well, he caught them, and Frank Dux stayed behind to pick up his sword, and he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, you need, let me come here, and you got to help me train my son." And they start teaching him martial arts with his son. Well, then they grow up, right, and the guy's son goes to the kumite and gets killed by Bolo Young in the tournament. Basically kills him in a fight. And then the next year, Van Damme gets the family's gets an invitation again, and he accepts it because he wants to fight for his brother's honor because he thought of him as like a brother. And there's a funny scene though when they're growing up together as kids, where the little boy gets jumped. The little guy, that guy's son, Tanaka's son, gets jumped by all these bullies at school. And one of this, he tells a different time period. This is filmed 1986, I think. One of the kids has a Bartles and James T-shirt on. The 80s were a different time, ladies and gentlemen. I remember people wearing PBR shirts to school, man. We was in the 6th grade. And they have Pabst Blue Ribbon shirts on and stuff. Anyway, so here he is talking to his this is supposed to be young Van Damme.
How come you coach him but not me?
I brought you here to help me train my son. Don't question me.
If you expect me to be punching bad, you can forget about our deal.
Timmy the deal, punching back. When we get about our deal, it's the kid trying to talk like he's French. I don't know, but anyway, here's the journalist lady in the movie. She's trying to get to the bottom of everything. She wants to know, where is this kumite tournament at?
This your first time in Hong Kong? You two are here for the kumite, aren't you?
Kumite?
Yeah, she was the journalist, the nosy journalist that knows everything, right? You know what I mean? Typical, and of course, Van Damme's going to sleep with her, immediately because they got to have somebody, for him to sleep with in the movie, just to make him look cooler than he already looks.
His first fight in kumite, he broke the fucking world record. Yeah, my buddy.
And that's where Frank Dux enters it. He breaks Bolo Young's record, and it's got that famous scene at the end of it when he says, "You break my record, I break you." It's awesome as hell, dude. This movie's so awesome.
Break my record, now I break you, like I break your friend.
and he's wearing his friend's Harley Davidson bandana on his shin there. And you know what's funny? That shirt that he's got on, that his American buddy has on, it's a Harley Davidson shirt. It's got like an eagle, and it's like coming down like it's attacking a dragon. It's like holding a dragon in its talons, right? And it says the eagle has landed on the shirt. I used to have that same shirt. Yeah, he did kind of save her from the Temu. Yeah, the Temu Iron Sheik. Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, they got to make him look good, though, right? You know what I mean? You got to have – these movies always have the guy that's like, you know, look how all the men are like, they're like, I'm glad you're on our side, Frank. And he's always got the lady, you know, and see, you know, she falls for him first night, just like that. That's your typical 80s action hero movie plot. You know what I mean? The guy's got to be able to, like, men want to be him, women want to go to bed with him. You know, that's the whole, you know what I'm saying? But I like his buddy, the guy with the beard. I can't remember his name. I'm bad with names, but like.
Aren't you a little young for full contact?
Aren't you a little old for video games?
They're playing like some kind of karate tournament guy. I think it's called Karate Grand Champion or something. It was on Atari, I think. And then we got another one here. He's talking about the guy with the beard's like, time separate me from the boys. And that one guy that's like their go-to guy, I guess like their errand boy or whatever, or the guy that shows them around, you know, while they're there. He says, you better keep your head attached to your body is what the goal is.
Time to separate the men from the boys.
Just be careful. Chong Li doesn't separate your head from your body.
He wants to separate your head from your body. So, yeah, we got, what's it, somebody saying something here? Yeah. You guys are killing me today. All right. Anyway. Then we got some more clips here.
It says he represents the Tanaka clan. You don't look like Tanaka.
Shidoshi Tanaka.
Yeah, they don't want to give him the same. So you don't look like Tanaka. You're going to have to prove it. So if you really were trained by Tanaka, you'll know the death touch. So they go, okay. They set up a bunch of bricks, and he lets the one guy pick it, and he picks the first one. And the other guy says, no, not the first one. You got to break the last one, but only the last one. You can't break the rest of the blocks. So, you know, Van Damme does his little thing, and he's like, you know, kumite, doing his little thing, you know. He's like meditating, getting his chi lined up and everything, getting all feng shui. And then all of a sudden, he just goes, and he hits the bricks, and it just breaks the last one, and that's it. And the rest of them stay unharmed. It's like, okay, your invitation is accepted. So, yeah. So that's, you know, it's like that right there. You got to get his feng shui together. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Donald Gibb played Ray Jackson. So, like, we got a couple more clips here. Okay, here's where the two guys, one of them played by Forrest Whitaker, are the two CID agents that are trying to get Frank Dux to come back because they didn't want him fighting in his tournament because they've spent so much money training him, apparently. He's such a deadly badass assassin, I guess, or whatever they have to have, that they can't afford to lose him.
It's over.
Who the hell are these two scumbags?
Just stay out of it, pal. It's not your business, okay?
I ain't your pal, dickface.
So ain't your pal, dickface. And here's the Temu Iron Sheik, as Nerdy Geek was saying.
Now I'll show you some trick or two. Now I'll show you some trick or two.
So I couldn't find a lot of action scenes, unfortunately, but I got some clips here. We'll just run.
You are next.
Now that kind of reminds you, like, you are next. It also reminds me of the same thing in Rocky IV, you know, like when he's like, I must break you. It's the same thing, right? Or like in I think in Mr. T, like that's always that part where like, what's your prediction for the fight, Clubber Lang? And he's like, my prediction is pain. He's the only prediction he's got is pain. And then she doesn't want him to fight return.
I just hope you don't end up like Jackson or worse. But I'm not gonna.
Her death or worse. All right. Other thing that's interesting about this is just that, like, you know, there's like the end of it, he says like Frank Dux was clocked with the fastest kick in the world at 73. What were they doing? Like using a radar detector every time they kicked somebody? I don't know if you could, I don't know. Anyway, so apparently he made all these claims that he had like 350 or 250 wins in a Kumites, which is, I don't know. I mean, he would have CTE so bad he wouldn't be able to talk. But also he could do like this 5 fingers of death touch thing. And he made some boastful claims, all I can say, about his real life. But, you know, regardless of whether this really happened or not, it's still a pretty good, the budget they had. They made a pretty good success on a shoestring budget. It helped catapult Van Damme to the next level of action hero instead of just being like the guy that sits there silent, being the silent bad guy like he was in No Retreat, No Surrender. They got Forrest Whitaker in the cast. Not bad. We got Bolo Young in it, you know. So, and people people who are into martial arts like I was, or the martial arts movies, everybody knew who Bolo Young was. So they had somebody that the karate, the hardcore like kung fu movie fans would know, and somebody they might know, an up and coming Van Damme, and they put him in this cool, crazy movie with all these other martial artists. And it turns into a classic. I mean, when I play Street Fighter 2, I think of this game. So, I mean, I think of this movie anytime I play Street Fighter 2. And anytime I watch this movie, I think about Street Fighter 2. So, and I still play it on my Nintendo Switch. Yes, I still only have the Switch 1. But anyway, you know, so we got some good memories. I got some good memories of watching this movie, walking into the video rental shop and grab a couple of Nintendo games or rent, and then you go and pick out a couple of movies and go get you a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut and have a movie night at home, and, you know, just have some fun that way. So I kind of miss those days. You know what I mean? Sometimes I kind of miss that time, like going to the tradition of going to the video store to rent a movie to watch, you know. What are we going to pick tonight? Oh, we can get 2 this time. Let's get 2 this time. Okay. Or just have a whole movie marathon. We used to just rent like 5 tapes. Just have a big movie marathon all weekend. When we get some of the back ones, you could get them for like $1 rental or something. Like one of the, you know, the older movies. But I really like this movie. I mean, when I say something's bad cinema, I don't mean it's like bad. Just means that's, you know, it's not going to win the Oscars, but it's still a good movie. And I have to give it to, I was going to say, I approve of it. It may not be the highest production. It may not have the best acting in it or no acting at all. The plot may be, I mean, the best actor in it is Forrest Whitaker, let's face it. And he's not even in it that much. So, anyway, and it was Van Damme's really first time speaking English on camera, or probably haven't been speaking English that long at the time at all. So I give it 2 thumbs up or something I would see. You know, we always think it's better than it is, like when we were younger, I think, but it's still good. And it's got some memorable parts. It's got some memorable fight scenes in it. And I recommend it. If you've never seen it and you like martial arts stuff, you need to see it. If you know anybody that's never seen it, maybe you need to have an intervention in their life and tell them, look, you're doing something wrong. You haven't seen Bloodsport yet. You know what I mean? Yeah, Rob, you're right. We'll never see those days again. But, you know, it's cool. We can look back at it we can always look back at those days when we go to the video rental store on the weekend. That was our weekend plans. I love those kind of times. I want to thank all my channel members. I'm going to put it together a giveaway. I'll probably be giving away. I have a trade paperback for Transformers Volume 1 for the Energon universe that I'll probably be giving away for the monthly giveaway. I like to give away stuff that people may not have read, kind of get them into it and show them why I think it's enjoyable and reader. If you're not read Transformers, then you might want to get in that giveaway or be a member. It's only 99 cents. And then Thursday at 12:30, if everything goes well, we will have another episode of Good Cinema, and I will be reviewing Captain America: The Winter Soldier, starring Chris Evans and Sebastian Stan. Also appearances by Robert, the great Robert Redford. He's not late yet, but the great Robert Redford. I think we got a lot of great actors. Anthony Mackie, this is his debut as the Falcon in this movie. Of course, the great, lovely, very lovely, vivacious Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow is in it too. But anyway, so check that out. Should be a good time. It's my favorite Captain America movie, and probably one of my favorite movies about a superhero of all time would be Captain America: Winter Soldier. I remember when that came out with Brubaker writing, and I was worried about it when they were going to make a movie. I'm like, oh no, because Brubaker wrote it so perfect, I thought. And it was great artwork by Steve Epting, by the way, on that. And but no, they were very faithful to it, and they need to go back to that. Maybe they could just make something, because this movie is like one of those movies where you didn't have to know what happened in such and such movie, this movie or that movie. You could watch this movie and totally get it without having to watch any other stuff. So that makes it an even better movie. It's almost like a suspense intrigue movie, spy intrigue movie, international intrigue. So yeah. Yeah, I'd like to have like my own media room where I could just go and like my own screening room. You know what I mean? Like where they screen movies. And we'll just do screenings of it with a projector screen behind me. But yeah, that's what I would do. But so one more thing before I go. Comic Conversations is at 8:00. I'll be talking to TM Nerdy. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh, I think I still have that highlighted. Okay, my bad. Hold on. There we go. Anyway, so this will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be talking to TM Nerdy tonight at 8. It's about an hour-long show, and then I'll be should be on Paul's when the 619's Paul and his amazing friends. So it should be there. And anyway. Oh, well, the newer one, I'm talking about Winter Soldier. I'm not talking about Brave New World. I'm talking about the one with the Winter Soldier in it. Yeah. But anyway, although I like Brave New World all right. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. But it wasn't the worst comic book movie I've ever seen. It just, I don't know, it just existed. You know what I mean? I guess that's the best way I could put it. It existed. I acknowledge its existence, but all right. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, the new one wasn't that great. I just don't want to associate that movie with this one. You know what I mean, man? All right. Well, guys, that's it for today's show tonight. And then, of course, I got the 8:00 conversations tonight. So, and after that, I don't know what we got. Oh, yeah. The Good Cinema. That's Thursday at 12:30 for that. We're going to Winter Soldier. And I have a mail call video coming out Saturday at 9 a.m. So stay tuned for that. But thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And just remember this. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snitchy boochies.